Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Psych Talk. Today I will talk about the three clusters of personality disorders: Cluster A, Cluster B, and Cluster C. And the reason why these disorders are grouped into clusters, it's because they share similar patterns of behavior and traits, which helps in understanding them better. So they basically have some shared characteristics and patterns of behavior. So let's start with Cluster A. Cluster A is called the odd and eccentric group. It includes paranoid personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder, and schizotypal personality disorder. I already talked about these specific disorders before in my podcast, but I will obviously provide you again with the characteristics of each and their differences. So let's get into it. So these three disorders are marked by difficulties in forming and maintaining close relationships, as well as behaviors or thought patterns that others may find strange or off-putting. They are characterized by distrust or emotional detachment and some atypical social behavior. So what are their differences? Paranoid personality disorder is defined by pervasive distrust and suspicion of others. So people with this disorder often misinterpret harmless remarks as malicious. Schizoid personality disorder is characterized by social detachment and a limited range of emotional expression. And these individuals prefer solitude and are indifferent to social relationships. Schizotypal personality disorder involves more overtly unusual beliefs, behaviors, or perceptions, such as magical thinking or odd speech patterns. So they may dress a little bit different, a little bit in a funny way. Now, let's talk about Cluster B. So, Cluster B is so-called the dramatic and emotional group, and it has histrionic personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder. And individuals in this cluster often exhibit dramatic, emotional, or unpredictable behaviors. The similarities are impulsivity and intense emotions, along with challenges in maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships. And they may seek attention or manipulate others, though their motivations and methods may differ. And the differences. So histrionic personality disorder is defined by excessive emotionality and a need for attention. Individuals may be very theatrical or overly concerned with their appearance. Narcissistic personality disorder, on the other hand, involves grandiosity, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration. And people with this disorder may exploit others to maintain a sense of superiority. Antisocial personality disorder is marked by a disregard for the rights of others, deceitfulness, and a lack of remorse for harmful actions. And last but not least, borderline personality disorder is characterized by emotional instability, fear of abandonment, impulsive behavior, which often result in very chaotic relationships. Okay, last cluster of personality disorders is Cluster C, the anxious and fearful group. So Cluster C includes avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, and obsessive compulsive personality disorder. And individuals in this cluster often experience chronic feelings of inadequacy, a need for assurance, or an overemphasis on control, and their behaviors are typically motivated by fear of rejection, abandonment, or failure. So, the differences. Avoidant personality disorder involves extreme sensitivity to criticism and a strong desire to avoid social situations despite wanting connection. Dependent personality disorder is marked by excessive reliance on others for support and decision making, along with a fear of being alone. And obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which differs from OCD, focuses on perfectionism, orderliness, and control, often at the expense of flexibility and efficiency. And some of the treatments that we may use that are found to be effective are dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, which focuses on 4 key components such as mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. We can also use group therapy, and also cognitive behavior therapy is found to be effective. And that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for listening.